Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We're going to take a quick look at SLP, which is definitely taking off here. So thank you to my community members, my patrons for requesting that I cover this, of course. This is always on my radar, and it's always nice to see it coming back to life. So I got a really good group of folks based on SLP, so thanks again to you as well. Now, if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor by any means, I've just been trading for over 15 years. And my goal is to help you become a better trader, right? I just love helping educate other people and becoming more self-sufficient financially. So hopefully you can find extract some good information today, and we can kind of help you become a little bit better. And if not, you need more of a hands-on approach. I have a trading community / signal group where I send out signals for every single trade that I take, fully automated through a trading bot. You just one-click follow. Super cool situation. So check that out in your own time. This would be the best month to do it because the rates are increasing next month, and obviously you can lock in your rate if you're interested. Anyways, let's take a look here at SLP. So let's go with big picture, 1-day chart, see what's going on. So obviously we've had a bit of a decline since back in July. Okay, so obviously things were not so great, but they're definitely looking much better now. And we can see a pretty significant increase. In fact, the price is pumping really hard, upwards about 100% from bottom to top. So really good stuff here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the moving averages. Price is now above the moving averages, which is nice, at least the 50-day simple moving average. And then when it comes to RSI, just peaking up over 70. So technically speaking, we still have more room for growth. And just note too, oftentimes you can find these bullish patterns lasting at least 3 days. So not saying it's going to just pump for 3 days straight, but there's a strong likelihood that could very well happen considering its history, right? It's referred to as 3 white soldiers. So if you see this 1, 2, 3, then there's followed by a red day. That's common, a very common theme, right? So we could see another leg up here. Oh, geez, my straight lines are terrible. Sorry. I probably look drunk. Sorry. Anyways, let's just go with that. Yeah. So let's just say there's 3 white soldiers, right? My goodness. Then the fourth one will be a red day, right? So this one we can expect to be red. Okay. Terrible, terrible representation, but I think you get the idea, right? So that's just something to look for in the future. Now let's go ahead and move on to the 4-hour chart. We've obviously had all this movement in the last 12 hours, the most recent 4 hours for the strongest increase there, of course. Not much to extract there. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the 1-hour chart. We're obviously above the cloud, not much to note there, but TD sequential will tell us a lot here. So this is the thing we want to kind of focus on. When we have significant increases like this, right? We can't do much about it. We pretty much have to just all the traditional indicators are pretty much null and void. We have to get creative in the sense, by using, market exhaustion and also support and resistance levels. Obviously, you're probably familiar with Fibonacci retracement. We'll look at that here in a moment. But the bottom line here is that we've got a 9 on TD sequential here, which basically just means that this is the point where the price should have started to retrace, or at least consolidate, right? That didn't happen. We got these 3 extra legs up, so to speak, in the last 3 hours. That's just driving the price crazy. It's all well and good, keep in mind, but this basically just tells us we are somewhat in overtime. Okay. In other words, this bullish trend should have finished a while ago, but it's still continuing on. So technically speaking, we have 0 hours left of bullish momentum, even though this is still making higher highs right now. So just bear that in mind. The likelihood of it retracing is fairly high. So it wouldn't be a terrible idea to consider taking some profit if you definitely are in the profit. I would have recommended, considering a profit target before you jumped in anyways, right? Anytime you take a trade, you want to set 3 profit targets and a trailing stop loss that adjusts based on every target hit. That way you stay profitable regardless. That being said, I don't think that's a super big concern. I don't feel like this is going to shoot straight down in the near future, but just know when you have a significant increase like this, the likelihood of it coming back down is fairly high. And if it were to come down, it's usually about 50%. That's why Fibonacci retracement has 50, basically 0.5 on the list, because it'll come down commonly right around that point. So we could expect the price to come down somewhere in the range of basically just say down to about 1 cent, right? That's a possibility. Not saying it's going to happen, but that's still a possibility. We also can see here that there's a pretty decent amount of volume right here at about 0.09. So 0.09 and 0.1, basically 1 cent and 0.09 cents are the two, the nice little support channel here, right? We got a nice support channel. Another thing we want to look at is the volume profile. Kind of see where the most volume is coming. See, interestingly enough, we see the most amount of volume right here, really close to the support level of 0.09. So we can just basically say, actually it's exactly 0.09, because this right here is 0.092. So let's just go ahead and move that down. because I do like the fact that, you know, the volume profile is telling us we have the most amount of volume at this point. That tells me that that could work as a support level as well. So just note that the volume is a very, you know, underrated tool that a lot of people overlook, and it's important to know what the volume profile visible range is, and that gives us a visual representation of that. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. Now let's look at a best case scenario here. Say we get our 3 white soldiers, and, you know, this continues to come to fruition. We got this happening twice, right? It would happen right there, plus just a little buffer. Now, if that were to occur, we're looking at somewhere in the range of about 22.5 cents. So 22.5 is effectively a best case scenario here for this run. The likelihood of it getting there, I think, is fairly high considering its history and how well it does, you know, 2 or 3 days in a row, right? We've already seen on the larger time frame that it can do stuff. It can do quite a lot, right? So let's take a look here. First of all, we saw this. Those are the 3 white soldiers there. And prior to that, we got 3 white soldiers here. Okay. So pretty consistent, you know, I guess you could say history. Now, this is a pretty big leg up. Don't get me wrong, 125% or 100% so far. But I do think it's a strong likelihood we're going to see the price continue upwards of about 22.5 cents. I think that's pretty likely. So is that going to happen in the next 2 days? I think so. Yeah, it's probably very likely. And the main reason why is just based on its history, right? It's doing a lot, and it's absolutely performing. So again, this is just a big picture. I would say that's probably a pretty strong likelihood. Just note that we have a strong support level here at about, you know, somewhere between 0.09 and 1 cent. Sorry, am I saying that? I'm saying that wrong. I'm sorry. It's 9 cents, 10 cents. I apologize. I had a decimal place in the wrong decimal point in the wrong place. Anyways, that's kind of what we're looking at here. So yeah, all good things here for SLP. I think it's going to continue up. Just don't be surprised if the price does come down and kind of bounce off one of these support levels here, based on the simple fact that, you know, that'd be a healthy correction. There's nothing wrong with that. If it does, it's actually a better opportunity to be able to add to your position before it legs up again, right? But what I'll do is I'll try to keep a closer eye on this here because I do feel like it's going to still continue to the upside. But for right now, we can tell that right for the moment, we have a resistance level of about 13 cents, 13.6. And then, actually, let's pull this back up just to be on the safe side here. And let's make sure to mark this guy as well, because this could be very relevant. Right around 12.1 is a likelihood for the price to kind of consolidate right there. Okay. And one last thing just to look at, we can tell, if you can see here, that you see the volume weighted average price. Do you see how outside of the standard deviation lines it is? So with it being so high there, with that standard deviation, the price is having to come back down. Okay. So as you can tell here, it was very healthy, continued to increase within that volume profile. But now it's outside of that profile, and it's going to come back down. It may not come all the way down. It might just consolidate right here at support, but we don't know that yet. It's still a little early. However, that's typically how the volume weighted average price works. When you get outside those standard deviation lines, the price has a tendency of wanting to come back down. Okay, that's that natural gravity what you see within trading. It's a very cool situation. So yeah, again, big picture, I would say here, just kind of summarize. 22.5 cents is a best case scenario, but presently I think we might see a little bit of consolidation. We want to see some consolidation in the near future before it legs up again. So if you want to try to maybe average your position, do some dollar cost averaging right around 12.1. If it continues lower, go ahead and go down to 10 cents. And even as low as 9 cents, because that's where that strong volume profile is, right in that range there. Okay. So yeah, again, big picture, I think in the next 3 days, we're going to see some things here from SLP. We just need to let it calm down a little bit because it's a bit on the overextended side right now. So hopefully you found benefit here, and this didn't provide more questions than answers. And if so, feel free to like and subscribe. Join my Patreon community where we can all learn and grow together, and you can benefit from some pretty awesome signals that I send out pretty consistently. So I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much for your time. We look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.